Banjo Patterson's famous poem made legends of the men from snowy river country, the cattlemen who've grazed the Alpine ranges of southeastern Australia for the past 140 years. But now these hardy mountain men believe their lifestyle is under threat. The high country has become a battleground between the cattlemen and conservationists who want to put a stop to grazing. As Chris Hill reports, Victoria's Conservation Minister Kay Setchers has now entered the fray, issuing eviction notices to some of the families who see themselves as a living part of Australia's heritage.
I think they've gone a little bit over the top this time. Their heritage is not threatened.
There's not very many people around that can prove that they've been in this area one area for 100 years and worked their guts out to stay in this area. It's not an easy life.
To be or not to be? It sounds corny enough. In the words of the minister, probably even over the top. But for the high country cattlemen, over the top is a damn sight better than down the drain.
They've worked hard all their lives, in fact, for generations, most of those families, to live in this country and look after it, and they see no reason why they should go. And they've got no economic alternative.
David Treasure is president of the Mountain Cattlemen's Association. It's spearheading the fight for the 11 families earmarked for relocation. Century-old Alpine grazing families like the Fitzgeralds and the Kellys.
It's just them or us, I think, and we're just going to stay.
If anybody had to have his wages cut by half, he'd kick up a bit of a stink about it, wouldn't he?
95% of the area will be available, and we're only wanting to remove them off 5%.
That's 5% of the total Alpine area, and you must remember that the area grazed is much smaller than that.
Each side is accusing the other of distorting the facts and figures. In the end, it boils down to a matter of why and where. Why must the cattlemen give up their leases, and where will they take their stock if they do?
There is a whole range of land that is still suitable for grazing that we think we can fit them into.
Some of the reallocation areas that they've been talking about, it's just rough scrubland where a dog couldn't even bark, let alone you couldn't graze cattle there.
We're keen to keep a representative area of the plant life up there.
Well, I've been going there for 44 years, and this year, or now in particular, is the best I've seen it. So how they would derive that decision, I wouldn't know.
The cattlemen have always been willing to share their areas and to share the whole country with anybody that likes to come here. They believe, in fact, that multiple use is the way to go.
So if the cattle go,
the whole lot goes up in smoke.
Last Friday, those men from Snowy River gathered to the fray, in their hundreds.
Hey, we're going, not coming.
The bushies had twigged that in order to be heard, they'd first have to attract some attention, a tactic the government's well-oiled PR machine has down to a T. While the cattlemen pitched their tents, the Conservation Department pitched its counterattack.
The cattlemen have known for more than 8 years that cattle will be withdrawn from these small areas in 1991.
Probably tomorrow is going to be the most exciting day ever held on the Bogong High Plains or anywhere else in Victoria above 5,000 feet.
The cattlemen know it's a numbers game. Now, they're not all that fussed on talking, nor do they feel they have the ear of the government, but there's one thing they do have, and that's showbiz.
Well, we're on show again tomorrow, and this one's probably the most important show we've had to put on. And it's a damn shame that we've got to put on shows like this, but it seems to be the only way we can get our message across.
They seem to be running a fairly emotive campaign, and they seem to think that life's a bit of like a movie, and they run their campaigns for the benefit of the media.
If any one of you mountain cattlemen here believes that this whole issue is just about whether we can graze cattle in the high country, then I think you're on the wrong track. This issue is about the high country. This issue is about whether there remains a high country for everyone to enjoy.
We're the mountain cattlemen, and we're fighting once again for our rights to graze in the high plains and the hill.
With a film director's eye for the theatrical and a horseman's eye for the lay of the land, The stage was set on the leasehold the Kelly family stand to lose.
I'd like to welcome everybody here.
As hoped, the cattlemen had a captive audience. All that remained was to cue the players.
Before I tell you why they should stay here, before I outline our case to you, I think that you ought to meet these families.
Tell you its vision truly splendid. The cattle and the wild bush creatures stand.
They think we're going to be kicked off the plains. We're not going to go though. We're going to win. Otherwise, if we don't win, it's just going to be a chain reaction. They'll just keep on taking and taking and taking.
Giving and giving and giving is out of the question for the cattlemen. How the government intends to alter that 140-year way of thinking in just 2 is anyone's guess.
We've actually asked the mountain cattlemen to join us in a working party so that we would be able to arrive at a solution that's agreeable to all of us, and so far they've refused to participate.
We want to cooperate if possible, but to cooperate in this eviction is to help sign our own death warrant.
Chris Hill reporting. Back with more in a moment.